Hello Sagittarius, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength or your storyline on this reading, check your other major placements. I've also been posting the pictures of the spreads at the end, so if you want to follow along or check my work, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, so we're going to start with the Oracle Mystical Moments deck here for an intuitive start to this reading. Oh man. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put that down because this deck has been very generous today and I have read a lot of cards. And it's going on. Oh my goodness. We've got looking at the past and looking at the future. We've got, okay. All right, we have Red Garden. So you've changed and you've grown. Part of it, your mind has changed and it's popping out. Everybody can see that something different and obvious has changed in your life. There's also something not so obvious, something a little private that has changed also. But your mind is still looking at the past. It's looking at what's happened before, what's gone on before. Your heart's ready to move on though, but your mind is looking at something from the past and it's not quite seeing it correctly. And that might be keeping you trapped there. It might be like you know you're not seeing it correctly, so you kind of keep going over something over and over again, looking for the glitch, looking for the issue, looking for the problem so that you can see it correctly and then move forward. So you've been through some changes and you're looking back at who you used to be and where you used to be, but you're just seeing something a little, maybe too perfectly, maybe not accurately, and somehow it's bothering your mind and it's stuck in there. Heart's ready to move forward, ready to move on, let's get going. And you're like, no, there's still something here I think I want. And so, but your heart's like, get going. And then we have tiny triumphs. So we have sort of your intellect here has ruled the roost forever for a long time, which is good. We want to be smart. We want to be smart about how we're managing our lives here in our homes and our estates. So you have this, but this little thing, what is this little mouse? This is a little field mouse who's supposed to be sort of a quivering mass of fear and adrenaline as it like hides from this predator here, and the mind's here to sort out and to grab intuition and kind of, no, this is my field and I'm going to eat you for breakfast. But here it is, tables have turned, something's popping out here, intuition's popping out, maybe in like a really humorous, funny way that can approach this this corvid, this apex species, this king of the field, and approach it in a way, the way a court jester can approach a king and can make jokes at the king's expense, and is the only one that's allowed to do that, and can tell the truth to power in a way that the king finally has to listen to and has to hear. So there's something that's usually small and insignificant and quiet and maybe fearful and maybe prey, usually is the prey in the situation, pops out in this big bold way with some truth and balances things out for just a moment. They get to come out, and the tiny thing, the tiny scared prey gets to have its day. I like it. And then we have two cards of stagnancy, of standing still. Again, in this card, we have the heart looking forward to the future, wanting to move forward here, wanting to move. We have this little heart chakra bird here and these two heart chakra birds looking to the future, wanting to go forward, but being stuck, being trapped here in the present situation, choosing not to go into the future. There's something, your intuition's telling you not quite yet. We're not quite ready for that yet. You're a little worried about something, you're really thinking about something, you might want to say something or move forward, but you're not quite there. You're just dreaming about sort of a long distance plan right now, but you're not taking any action towards it. You might have gotten a little I've been here, a little stagnant with your dream, maybe sitting here for a little too long. This is some stagnant, smoggy energy. We have these birds. They could fly, they could chirp, they could talk, but their beaks are shut. They're not saying anything. and they're kind of just hanging out here, and they've gotten a little comfortable here. They don't really want to put in a bunch of effort. They don't want to do this anymore. They're just waiting for something else to happen, waiting for some winds of change to come and blow their little balloons and blow their houses someplace else and move them forward, because they've gotten a little bit complacent, a little bit stagnant. They've kind of set up a home here and aren't moving of their own volition by choice. They could be moving, they could be flying, they could be talking, they could be chirping, but they've chosen not to, and they've gotten a little too comfortable in the stagnant situation and may not be wanting to move forward. Could be something about, just being stuck in the past, or being stuck sort of absorbed with something that's already happened, and being comfortable with that storyline or that narrative, having gotten comfortable with seeing the past in that light, not challenging yourself. But something's going to come in that's going to change the lay of the land. It might be a small thing, it might be a little thing, but it's going to change a little bit of what's going on here. Because you've gotten a little comfortable with your situation. Okay, for Sagittarius, this is the past, the present, the inner landscape, what's at issue, the environment, the to-do list, and the possible outcome. So, recent past, we have this Knight of Pentacles, this stagnant, solid, slow-moving energy here in your recent past. And not only is he in your recent past, he also likes to look at the past and look at what's happened and analyze what's happened and sort it all out and figure it all out and understand it. He's very much into the work that's been done, what's already been done, what's already on the table, what's already, what we've already put into this. This can be, I'm getting this feeling of someone who makes a commitment and sticks with it and pours, good money after bad. That investment isn't working out, man. And he doesn't care. He's still going to keep doing it because that's what he does. He made this choice and he's going to keep repeating the choice. I don't usually get that reading from this card, but that's my intuitive reading of this guy right now. Slow moving energy, and he's still stuck on something that's way back there in the past. He's looking to the past. He's looking at the work that's already been done. He's not willing to leave it behind. He's not willing, with these other cards here, that's what I'm seeing, is not willing to leave something behind. I already put a bunch of work into this. I'm not gonna move on. I'm not gonna move forward here. He's looking at the past, very focused on the past here. And I mean, we've got two energies talking about a field of some sort, and two energies they're looking at the past. They're just very much interested in what's gone on back there and a little bit over-absorbed in that, and it's preventing forward movement. And that's the recent past. In your present situation, you have this Eight of Wands. This is a communication, lots of fast-moving energy wanting to come in here, trying to come in here. Communication. I don't see communication going on in this card, so I don't know what this is about. I mean, I'm not... Anyway, present situation, lots of communication. I get this card when it is check your emails, and right now there's about 50 million ways to message a person, and I cannot keep track of all of the ways. My Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, my other Twitter, my YouTube, my email, my other email, my other email, my business email, holy moly, that's 10 emails, things I have to check every day, not to mention the regular mail, and not to mention stuff I read and then forgot that I read it while I was thinking about how I wanted to respond, and then completely forgot about the whole correspondence altogether. So this is about communication. Check your inboxes, check your emails. There's been some sort of this, I get this card when there's a communication issue. I got this card when I didn't read my plane ticket back when I flew, plane ticket properly, and it was there's a communication issue, and it just kept coming out in the reading, and it was actually my very first reading ever that I got. I think it was St. Charles Square in New Orleans, my first ever reading, and I ended up stuck in New Orleans for another week, and my plane ticket was $1,000 to leave, because it was popular. It was Jazz Fest or something like that. Anyway, so there's just like, check your plane ticket, reread everything, read your contracts. That's what's going on right now. There's a lot of communication, possibly some miscommunication. Make sure you're reading everything very clearly, reading the fine print, understanding something. That's what's going on in the current situation. In your inner landscape, you have some feelings and you're very surprised about these feelings. And see, she's got a little fish in her cup. Like, this is my cup. Is it supposed to be wine in this cup, or juice, or water at least? Coffee? But there's a fish. There's a fish in her cup. So she's very surprised and curious. So you're maybe hoping for something in your cup, or you're just really dealing mentally with like some surprising new thing. Here we have this way in which you've changed, obviously, but then you've changed in this surprising other way. That takes a lot of curiosity. That flower would take a lot of curiosity, a very curious bee to pollinate it. So you're very curious about something and wondering about it, maybe even very hopeful about it, but it's caught you by surprise. You're not running away. So that's what's going on in your inner landscape. Your mind is occupied by a curiosity about your emotions and your feelings, which is good. That leads you to the King of Cups. That curiosity is the beginning of emotional stability, is when those emotions come up, even if they're a little bit surprising. Oh, look, we've got something very surprising popping up right here. Very surprising. And look, they're both like holding this thing in their hand, only the roles are reversed. Here we have sort of you, your intellect, your mind, looking at your intuition, your feelings, being very surprised and shocked, and it's come in a very surprising way. And here we have the very surprising feelings, and they've got you and your mind right here in their hand. Look at that nice symmetry on those two cards I've never seen together before. So yeah, you're very curious about something that's come up, and it's very surprising, maybe a little shocking, a feeling that you have, or an idea that you have, or an intuitive hit that you've gotten that's very surprising to you. And then at issue here is we have the Devil card, but in reverse. So there's some sort of addiction issue. Some sort of addiction separates us from our true self, from being able to flow with the universe and flow with our true selves and our feelings. So there's some sort of separation here, some sort of addiction issue that is separating you from your intuition and from your true, or separating somebody. There's some sort of issue going on, and it could be with you, it could be someone else in this situation. Maybe they're addicted to some, this can be a very addicting energy. We're comfortable. When we're in our comfort zone, even if it's an addiction, if we're in our comfort zone, like we want to stay there. We don't want to move out of that situation. So the Devil reversed is all about addiction. The Devil reversed could also be about breaking addictions, and for some reason that could be causing a problem, because when we break free of an addiction or a habit, it affects everyone around us, and some people are very happy about that and have been looking forward to that for a very long time, and other people get upset by that and do not like having the routines that they have become accustomed to and comfortable with broken up and whatever. So there's some sort of an issue with addiction, either breaking addiction or a very destructive addiction here that's separating somebody from their true path and from being able to be in that flow. So it's like a fixed energy, a fixation on something, a stagnation, and a stagnating fixation on something that's preventing the flow of intuition, of ideas, of emotions, of being in the flow of life, of being able to listen to Spirit's guidance to other places, because we have this fixation. We're not able to move. Somebody in the situation, so it could be somebody else. You could be dealing with an alcoholic or a drug addict, or you yourself could be dealing with some sort of addiction to a person. Could be codependence, something like that. But it's creating rifts in relationships all around you. It's very destructive energy. In your environment, you have the Death card. So you're very focused, or there's some major transformation, major ending. Look, Death is squeezing through this portal here, this threshold. Death is coming through the threshold. And so where the tarot goes with this is it's a major transformation. So around you, somebody around you in your environment or something is going through a major transformation, a major change. And so we fixate often on the death aspect, on the ending aspect, but what is happening is he's going through a threshold. So there is something on the other, every doorway we go through, we go from one place to another place. There's never been a doorway from this thing. You can't even conceive of it, to nothing. There's doorways. So someone's crossing a major threshold, and there's a grief process here. So this could be death. Where it's at right now in this exterior environment, I wouldn't be surprised if there is something like that. But there's also just the grief with leaving a room. You know how you cry every time you leave the bathroom because you're not going to be in the bathroom anymore? No, just kidding. That's not true. But that is like you are leaving somebody here, and this is your environment. So there is something going on in your environment of a major change, a major transformation, a major move into like another room, another house, another state, another country, some sort of other state of being. There's a major transition here, and there's grief. There's grief over what's being left behind. We can also eventually focus on what we're going to, because of course we cross the threshold from inside of the house to the outside of the house, from the bathroom to the hallway. So we're crossing thresholds here. So this is a big transition, a big change going on in your environment. Your to-do list, the energy you're being called into is somehow this Empress energy. You have enough nurturing from a full cup, confidence, self-confidence, the happiness at being single, happiness at just being who you are, being single, knowing that you are enough, you have what you need. That's the energy you need to be coming into, is that you have everything you need here. This is abundance, wealth, an attitude of abundance, if not actual abundance, an attitude of having enough. Even if right now what you have does not feel like enough, coming into that attitude that it is enough and it's going to be enough can help the situation, because oftentimes actually people do have enough. It's their mentality. They have a poverty mentality that keeps them feeling like they don't have enough. So this is having enough and having that mentality of abundance and having that mentality of having everything you need, having that mentality of being fine, of having a full cup. So you're coming into Empress energy here of abundance and wealth, in a way of all different types of wealth and all different types of abundance, emotional wealth, physical wealth, abundance, having everything you need. That's the energy, that's the attitude you need to be having, is you're fine. You have everything you need. You have everything you need. So if there's an addiction here, this will actually help with the addiction, I believe. I think so. I'm not a very addictive personality myself, so I've never struggled with addiction, but I have seen it all around me. I enjoy too much variety, too much to really ever get stuck in and to head towards addiction. I think I have some mental addictions, but I've never had a difficulty with physical addiction. I just need variety too much for that to happen, I think. Or I don't know, I'm just not wired like that. So anyway, a little aside there. Anyway, so this is Empress energy. You have everything you need. I think that can help with the sense of addiction, because the people that I've known that have been addicted have been like, I need a drink. You don't need a drink. Nobody needs a drink. It's like a perk, not a necessity. So realizing that you don't need anything, and that something that you have what you need already. You have what you need. I need water. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. And that reminds me of Mad Max, one of my favorite films. Like, do not become addicted to water. Like, that's a need, not a want. Not an addiction there. So your possible outcome is things are changing. the whole world is changing. Well, isn't that true? It's always true. The one constant is change. The whole world is always changing. So your world will change. Your world is changing. I mean, we're seeing that with this major arcana death, a major transformation. The world changes. It's not, you're not doing it. It's happening because it's happening. It's just a change of seasons. You're entering a new season in your life, possibly. Changes are going on around you. Other people are affecting these changes. Look, she's almost in like the same portal threshold that the death card is, but hers is alive. So this is almost to me saying like, okay, death, there's been a major exit from your life. Your life has experienced a big exit. So either somebody has exited your life, or you've exited something, or something's exited you, or somebody's exited something. There's been a big, massive exodus. But here's the entrances. If it's an exodus, there's an entrances. This is the big entrance. This is the seasons changing. Yeah, we're leaving summer, but we're coming into fall. Like, that's how the seasons change too, is these thresholds. So this is the threshold. This is the garland threshold, the life threshold, coming into new life, new abundance, and coming out of this death threshold, life threshold. So they're almost like, you could go like, whoop, 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 and here's your doorway between that. And what stands between it? You do. Also, in this threshold energy, you're standing in the middle of this threshold. You are the threshold? Are you the threshold? I mean, because I know that I have been the threshold between death and life, between non-existence and existence. As becoming a mother, I am the threshold. I am somebody's threshold between existing and non-existing. So anyway, yeah, so we have this. This is the ending. This is the new beginning coming in, the life moving, life going forward. And you are the earth goddess, the abundance. You are this. This is the energy you're embodying, is the Empress. You are enough. And that energy brings in the new life. All right, so Sagittarius, I hope that was helpful for you. It was a little like esoteric and out there, and a little bit wild for me, but I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for your likes and your subscribes and your comments. Even though sometimes I can't find the messages, and sometimes I worry. I like want to, have a good response to them, because I appreciate them so much, and I'm not sure, how to respond. So it takes me a minute to think about it. But I do like them. I do like interacting with you guys so much. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week.